All right, here we go. SEO, how to create winning titles in 2024. I think I'm going to do another. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to create another article just like this one I just connected to at the top. And then I'm going to interlink them. So I'm literally interlinking them vocally. And then I'm going to interlink them verbally and of course technically into the platform. So this is going to be a very exciting medium for us to have a conversation about titles and winning titles, because titles are titles that win when you have content that actually is seen and is absorbed in the right way. So there are going to be three ways of doing this. So please grab your pen, your paper, and be here. Dr. Francine, it's good to have you here. I know you, I see you all the way from the other app, so thanks for being here as well. Anisha's here. Thanks for being here, Anisha. Good evening. I did this room on the other app for 30 minutes, and I said, I'm going to do another quick 30 minutes in this, side of the app too. So I'm kind of saying this twice because I've already said this before, but I'm happy that, we're going to be here talking about this together. So please feel free to join me on stage. I don't want to be the only one. I could be, but I'd rather have you here with me. It's fun that way. Hey, Hayden, how are you? Hayden might be busy. I know it's rush hour time right now. Hey, Carlina.
Yeah, I'm a little busy, so but I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Good to hear from you. I ain't heard from you in a minute.
I know, man. I've been juggling apps. Like I was looking at my screen time last week,
Talking that,
and it
talking
was
good stuff.
borderline this app and Chatter. Both of them were just like one and two.
I know you probably dove. I know you probably dove head first into that Google leak. So I know that's probably what you've been up to.
Yeah, I've been looking into it, man. I've literally been cracking this code because SEO for me is like it's like
Crazy.
yeah, I've been literally cracking it. And just how to create winning titles is the holy grail of everything. Like it's literally, if you don't have a good title, you can't have good SEO. It's that simple, but also that complex. So yeah, I'm gonna help you write better titles, and I'm gonna tell you about a tool that you can use today. And I think they have an AI title rewriter as well. They just launched it. So I'm going to give you guys some really good source. So please stay tuned as well so I can show you guys some things. And I'm also going to notice, you're going to notice something too, um, with this article that I put up here. So please feel free to ask any question if you have them today. Hey, Carlina, welcome, Ryan. How are you, Carlina? Good afternoon. Oh, you might have to leave the app and come back in or check your audio settings because that happens, or update the app. This usually happens sometimes when you get on the stage. I don't know, it happens to everyone, but not all the time, but it's happened to me too before. So try to leave the app and come back in. Let's see if Anisha works for you too. Hey, Anisha, welcome.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good evening. Good afternoon. I don't know what time it is. I'm busy over here getting dinner prepared, but I wanted to just come up on stage and say hello. I missed it in the other on the other platform, so I'm catching it this time around to get some tips for some winning titles. So thank you so much, Favor.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I wanted to kind of do like a double series and see how that goes. This is literally audio testing. That's what I've done for this past hour. I've had a couple of meetings, connected with some nonprofit companies, two of them, which I'm excited. One is for Black community, the other one, I'll let you guys know about it. I'm about to actually release a free let me not call it free. It's complimentary because time was spent, so it's not free. So it's a complimentary course that is powered by, I'm not going to say the name of the company. When it's up and running, I'll tell you guys, but it's a nonprofit company, and I partnered with them last year, and we finished everything over this literally last month this year. And they're in their fourth season. So I'm about to help them launch something really new for the company, pretty much open up a podcast network for the nonprofit organization. So they've been telling me their plans, and I've been thinking, Lord, which way should we go? And I'm like, boom. So the founder, I talked to the founder. She's traveling. She's literally in Europe right now. So when she's back next month, we're going to kick it off. And I might bring her to this app, I'll bring her to the other app. We don't know. We'll see as well. So we'll definitely make that available. Candace, I got to call you. I got to give you a call. I got something for you. So thanks for being here. I got to give you a call and a response too. Welcome, Peter. Thanks for being here. Yes. So hopefully Kalina will be back and we can get the show started. So the article you see up here, let me give you guys some context to tell you how big this is, right? Everybody's jumping on stage. Let's go, Bianca. Welcome here. The picture you see on at the top, no problem. The picture you see on the top, right, is a picture. It's a thumbnail that was generated by my one of my AI employees, right? And I said, "This is what I want. This is how I want it, and give me this." And it literally generated the image for me. And I was like, "Here you go." I was like, "Whoa, first try," because there's something called a brain AI. So I plug in my website, so it gets to learn more about me. So I can give it a prompt. It's going to read the brain of my AI or the brain of my client's AI. So if I say, okay, this is my client's link. Read her whole Shopify, tell me what's wrong with it. We're going to read everything to give me exactly what I'm looking for. And then the AI would now tell me, then I'll now go deeper into the insight and then find resolutions for that thing. So I don't have to go scanning all your pages. Yeah, Anisha, I tried it for a client. She was blown away. Yeah, literally, especially for your Shopify store, I'll just plug it in, get your actual link, and then to give me an audit, it will tell me this is good, this is not good, this is the quality, this is what you should do. Here's a suggestion. It's literally like my AI employee. I'm like, this is crazy. So the picture you see up here, yeah, that was my AI employee that did that. And they all have names. So they all have names, and there are 12 of them. So it's like very exciting. And I've not even exhausted all of them yet. This is week one. So her name is Comet. So that's the one that did this picture. Did the audit, not the picture, the audit. So the one that did the picture, her name is Vizzy. That's the virtual assistant. So yeah, it sounds crazy, guys. I know it's like, what is he talking about? It's really happening. For me, I didn't think AI would be an incorporation in any way of some sorts to be something I do with website design, SEO. But I said, you know what, I'm going to go all in. And it's been really benefiting. And before I try it on anybody else or any other client, I'm going to try it on myself. And it's worked. So I've tested it, I've proven it. I'm like, yeah, this is the way to go. So whether it's business development, e-commerce, email marketing, SEO, like I even have an SEO specialist now. Not I like I've and then I've cloned myself with another person who's, she's in LA too. So it's not just me doing SEO. Before it used to be just me, and I was like, I don't want to be the only one because I want to have other people around. So now there are other people doing SEO plus now AI. So there's three of us. So why am I bringing this up is because if you want to create winning titles for 2024, right? There are three things that you have to keep in mind, right? And I'm going to tell you about this website so you guys can check it out for yourselves because I want you guys to win. I don't want to be the only one going through this. I want you guys to win, right? Because if you win, that means your community wins. If your community wins, that means the economy wins. If the community wins, you know where we're going with this. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. I know I can't do multiple chat links here, but the first link at the top is the link to the article. The second one, you're going to see the link in the chat. That's going to be the link to the platform. It's called capitalizemytitle.com. Y'all check that platform out. And I'm going to be talking about the three things there, right? The reason why I'm going to talk about those three things is not because I'm giving you reference, because anything I'm telling you has been talked about before. So I'm not really saying anything new. I'm only giving you my perspective based on my expertise that has happened over time, right? So that's why this information, you can read it differently. So getting into that headline score focuses on readability, SEO, and sentiment. So before I go any deeper into this, I know Carlina was out and came back in. Ryan is here. So I wanted to first respect that and, give you guys some time before I get into the topic. So I wanted to go to you first, Carlina. Are you good to speak? Let's test your microphone. Testing mic 1, 2, 3. Okay, she's probably not by her phone. Carlina, let me know when you're back. Niles is here too. What's up, Niles? What's good? Ryan, we'd love to hear from you. Welcome.
Hey man, I'm just working right now. I figured I'd tune in, listen in the background while I work.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Niles. Niles is also working too, I believe so. Yeah, feel free to be here and stay connected. Yeah, it's a good evening. So you guys are learning something. Please, if you have any questions, put in the chat. That's going to help. All right. So headline score. When you think about your winning title, right, it has to make sense. Now, for SEO purposes, right, let me just start there before I even go into readability scores. When you think about SEO, right, word count is a big factor. I'm going to tell you guys how important this is that you'll be like, huh? And it makes a lot of sense. Like, you'll be like, wait a minute. No, 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 Favor, you got to be joking. I'm serious. What I'm about to tell you might blow your mind. I've been doing this all month. Like, if you think about it like this, right? I think I've just been deep in research, just in my own corner, just studying and working and planning and everything. And what I'm getting out is immense, right? Because sometimes I'm like, I can't do everything, but I know it can be done. If you look at the letters, right? The letters M and the letter W, those words, or those letters carry more real estate than the letter I and the letter J. For example, why am I saying that? Because there's something called SEO pixel width. Like, when you think about a letter, when they say you have 20 characters, 50 characters, those are considered as pixels, right? Why are they considered as pixels? Because when pixels are picked from the source, right? It's being scanned through a system, right? An operating system. So if I'm scanning text, I'm scanning from A through Z, then in between those texts are going to be phrases, right? Matches, filters, right? So scientifically, if you go deep into the layer of the actual topic, then you're not just looking at the word. You're looking at the context of the word and the technical advantage of the word. So if I say winning titles. You see the word up there, winning? That W has taken so much space. If you guys really look at this title, compare that to the letter, let's say the letter I, right? Look at the word W. Just look at the title of this room. How to create winning titles. Like, this is why I'm very intentional about this. Very intentional. I want you to look at the title. The the width, if you put like a ruler, right? And you measure the centimeters, the centimeters between the point A and point B, right? You realize that if you point between the white spaces, there's more width base. Like the W and the M is bigger, it's wider. So that may have like a big amount of pixels, right? Which might be 15 pixels, 20 pixels, and then an I might be like 2 pixels, 5 pixels. You guys can do your research and check this. It's all out there. It's public information, right? I'm just telling you guys for emphasis. When you look at those letters say a lot, because if you look at your Google Search Console, I've always said this, look at your sitemap, look at your keywords, look at your structure, look at your products. Do your products have your brands? Does it work? If you keep looking at those things consistently, you realize that the more pages that you create for your website, the more real estate you cover. So if you think about it, right, semantically, if you have an article that says, what is da 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 question mark, what is, you're covering real estate already on your own land, on your own listing, because everybody has a listing on Google search, right? So on that Google search, everyone is having that thing consistently. So if you're thinking about creating content for yourself, right? If you have that W there and that is a title, that title W, what is, has real estate. So if you're covering that SEO pixel, right? then you're creating a winning title already because you're covering that much space. I'm not saying you should do it all the time, but use it sparingly. Because when you think about characters and the count of characters, those characters are important in headlines because that's what people read. The last one that I'm going to talk about, which is the sentimental value, is going to be the most important value for you. So I've kicked off with SE and I'm going to bounce back to readability. But before I do, I wanted to welcome you, Soda, and ask anyone on stage or in the audience, please feel free to come up and speak or put in the chat. What are you thinking? Like, what's crossing your minds? We can do popcorn style about this first concept.
I missed it, so I'm just gonna get hyped for the next.
I love that. Thank you, Soda. Thanks for being here. Hidden, I know is busy. Carlina busy. Anisha busy. Ryan's working. Niles hasn't spoken. So I know y'all might be out busy. So if anyone says anything, please interrupt me. Just microphone, anything. Just let me know. Go ahead, Carlina.
Oh, woohoo. Hey, woohoo. I'm just so excited that you can hear me. I was just gonna say I came in, right? I came in at the end of it, so I clicked on the I went ahead and I put in the title, and um I just put in something simple like, here comes trouble, just to see. And I like how clear that is, how it explains each, like where you're saying readability, and then it gave you like your score, and it gave me a 50. And I love that it said, well, here's some more tips. So I feel like that's a really good tool to use. It's easy, especially if you're not like, I guess, AI, like if you're AI challenged, or if you don't quite, if you're not a techie. For me, so that's one thing that I liked. I went ahead and filled that out. So, but I think that's a really cool tool. So thanks for sharing it.
You're
I
welcome,
just found
Carlina.
the tool that is in the. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, sorry, I was just really excited.
I was even coming to you, Soda, because I know I forgot to mention when you jumped in that there's a tool I put in the chat that you guys can check. I'm being very generous. I don't know. Y'all are just having a good side of. I mean, I'm always in a good mood, so yeah, this is always every time. But I'm a little bit more extended today for some reason. So yeah, check it out. Thank you, Carlina, for speaking up. Yes, Anisha. When you said "Here comes trouble," I typed it out on that tool, and I wanted to really dice this down. Here comes trouble. This is perfect because it has the green light, it has the amber light, and it has the red light. So this is a perfect example. Thank you, Carlina. And this comes in 3 words. Here comes trouble. Nobody wants to hear that, especially the trouble. You might want to hear "Here comes Santa." That's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear "Here comes trouble," right? So if you think about your content, right? It's broken down into green, amber, red. So if everybody can go to the link I put in the chat, go to your website, use your desktop, use your laptop, check it out, copy, paste. If you use Mac, copy in iCloud, paste it into your desktop, wherever you're using, or your iPad, and type in that section that Carlina just said, "Here comes trouble." You will see the green, the orange or the amber, and the red, right? The score is 52. So that's the average score of this word. Now, it's green because, and I'm really going to go through this study. It's green because it says creating titles with high readability means that your title and article are likely to appeal to a wider audience and will require less brain power for people to understand. Do you know what that means? If I've said this before with branding, if you have a brand, a business that can easily be understood, said, repeated, and passed on to, then you have a business that someone can remember for years to come. Coca-Cola, right? Target, Walmart, right? Shopify, right? Wix, Wikipedia, right? Apple, Whole Foods. I'm just giving you guys names. Tesla, right? These brands, if you notice, they have very few syllables. So that's less brain power. Wikipedia sounds long, but they used a lot of I. Remember I talked about the I, the with. So when they were creating that, they thought about it. They used the W and then they used the I, right? So Wikipedia doesn't sound like a lot of it doesn't sound stressful because the I's are helping with the syllables, right? So it's and the more vowels you have in the word, the easier it is for you to pronounce in a way, right? I may be wrong on that, but you have to create it in a way that is easy for people to understand, right? So creating this model allows you to think about the brain power, right? Now, if you think about this title, right, there's something called a fleshed um, Kincaid readability score, which is something that is pretty much a reading e score based on how general it is. So you have to aim for at least being above 60, right? 60 to 100, meaning that the easier it is for someone to read that text, the faster it is for someone to understand it, the quicker it is for them to take action, right? And if you guys need help with the strategy, please click the link above. When you click on it, leave your contact information. You'll be able to be within our email list. We have a list of closing up to about 7,000. So we have so much information for us to give you. So please join the community. It's a great place to be. And I send out emails on a weekly basis. I tried to send it, a little bit less in stretches. Before I used to do once a month. And then I was like, maybe I should pump it up a little bit. And I did. And then people are like, we need some more. So I've been doing a little bit more now on both LinkedIn and also on email. So if you want to get a touch of that, a feel of that, please get into the email sequence so that you can get all those information pieces to you and you have your email directly in your inbox, because emailing is one of the best forms of communication, especially when it comes to business. So think about it. And why I'm even saying that is use my email as an example. Like if you're getting emails, just look at my emails as an example. Look at the way I send the email. Look at the way I type it. Look at the way I use an emoji next to it. Look at the way I decide I'm going to use a capital letter here. I'm going to use a small letter here. Because when you use small letters, when you send out emails, you're kind of like tricking the system, because when you use capital letters, it kind of shows that you're in a promotional state of mind, if that makes sense, quote unquote. So if you use small letters when you send out emails in your subject lines, it does a bypass. So it's easier for you to get it across and you have a higher deliverability. Test it out, guys. I'm giving you guys gems this evening. I don't know why, but yeah, Anisha. So use these things because and listen to the latest episode. In fact, let me be more practical. I don't know why today I'm gonna be very practical. There's a yeah, let me just get it first before I say this. Yeah, boom. We're talking about emails. So I'm gonna change the link at the top. I just featured an amazing guy. His name is Nicholas Topper. And he created a patent. I don't know if I talked about it some time back. He created a patent and he registered it, and it's called inboxbooster.com. And he's the owner, he's one of the co-founders, and I'm with him on Slack too. And it's a platform that allows you to detect whether the email is going to Outlook or it's going to Gmail. Because when you're sending emails, you want to get high deliverability. My list is about close to about 7,000. And there's an email I sent last week. That's our highest ever. We hit about 51.4% open rate and 15% click rate with that big size. Because normally the higher you go in your email list, the less the number, the less the percentage, right? But it's kind of like they both went up together, because I'm like, yeah, I know why I did that. So I'm surprised, but I'm also excited because I know what I did. So using a platform like Inbox Booster allows you to detect those things, because sometimes some emojis can be red flags, some letters could be red flags. This is a big, I don't know why I'm going to the science of this, but winning titles is not just about how it sounds, it's about how it technically operates, right? So using this here comes trouble example is a perfect example. So here comes trouble, we all know what that means. I don't have to explain myself, I don't have to explain the text. We all know what that means, right? Now, they talks about two types of words here. There are common words and there are weasel words, right? Common words are like here comes. So you're supposed to take about 20 to 30% of your headline words with common words, right? Weasel words, they don't really convey the meaning, and it actually limits you to using the words because it kind of like takes you around. When you think about a weasel, it kind of like spins you around, but it kind of is still a title because it has a, what do they call it? A cliffhanger, right? Like for example, my friend was telling me Power is back, and I was checking, I was like, oh wow, because I stopped watching it, after the things changed, but I'm like, oh, they kind of brought it back in a way. I'm like, I'll check it out and see, right? Why am I bringing that example? Because I know that it kind of left me on a cliffhanger, knowing that those kind of episodes had those kind of things. So that's what I remember in my experience watching it back then. And then now, fast forward, that's what I cling to as far as remembering that experience. So when you're creating experiences on your website as titles, use parentheses, use brackets, use numbers, use special characters like question marks, use emojis, right? Look at my title right now. You can see an emoji. That's intentional because when the bot reads that, it reads that as an emoji, and an emoji is coded, right? So if they code an emoji, like now with the new iOS 18, we're going to have AI emojis and all these things. They humanize your brand. So if you decide to say, here are my set list of emojis I'm using for my business, and I send emails consistently, you can really go a long way with that. So this might be new information to you. You may already have known this before, but it's also something that I feel like is a good refresher. So before I go to the next sentence or the next phrase, we'd love to hear from anyone that has any thought on
So,
this. Go ahead, Hayden.
so is that like okay? So I don't know, like when like prompt engineering or like prompt crafting, they use like what they call skill chain, but they don't put the whole words. They just use similar words because it has a token limit. So that's kind of I think it's kind of in the same context because that's all it really is coding at the end of the day when you prompt it.
Right. It is tokens because when I look at it from the scientific like binary code, it's like it's like every letter, there are 26 letters in the alphabet, right? So each letter has a certain amount of pixels. So if I say the word water, right, that has a certain number of pixels, that has a certain number of characters. When I add water bottle, then that has a special set of characters because now it's a compound word, and now I'm also considering the spaces in between water and bottle because that space is also considered as a special character. That's why it's a button, right? So it's crazy. It's mind blowing. So you look at the numbers, you look at your words, right? With SEO, you want to keep between 5 to 7 words. That's the high recommendation, right? Now here comes trouble. The reason why it's amber is because it's not up to 5 words, right? You can't have an article that says here comes trouble. It's not going to make any sense. If I say here comes trouble with your water running out, then there's context to that because now I've created anticipation, I've created some type of awareness, I've shook the ground a little bit. It's not controversial, but it's really alarming too. So when you want to keep your headlines tight, when you want to keep your headlines knit, you want to create that context, right? I had two crazy good, amazing, thankful to God for these two opportunities. I was on radio last week, live radio, and then on top of that, I was in the Black AI National Literacy Week, talking about podcast, Pinterest, and webinars for, how do small and large businesses do it. That was supposed to be an 1 hour because I was the last person pretty much for the whole week. There were 40 experts talking. I was the last one. That there were about 29, 30 people in that room and on Zoom. It was a Saturday, and I was literally, it was supposed to be an hour. We ended up staying there about 2.5 hours because questions kept coming. I showed people how to use Pinterest and find their specific niche using a website I will not mention here. Um, so there, there are different places because I don't want to overwhelm you guys either. That's why I'm really like I like to give so much to the point where I'm like, you gotta slow down. So I don't want to, I'm kind of like holding myself on not saying much so you guys can just focus on one thing at a time, and then you use that, perfect it, implement it, then move to the next thing because there's so many moving parts, right? So when you create your content and you use like this, listen to this episode, hear what he talked about, how to achieve high email delivery. He built it. Like we know, like right now, even Apple Mail. I don't know if you guys are following the news too on Apple Mail. that's a new thing that's happening because the promotions tab, when you get an email, how do you know whether it's going to the updates tab or the promotions tab or the spam or the primary? Inbox Booster allows you to know those things. So if you're using content for growth, then applying SEO and doing it the right way by coming to this kind of website, testing it out, seeing, okay, what does the algorithm say? Is it readable? Is it SEOable, if I can use that word? And is there sentimental value for this phrase, right? So that way you're able to know, okay, if I put a question mark, does it change the context, right? If it does, how does it change the context? If it doesn't, why doesn't it change the context, right? So readability is one thing, then your SEO score is another thing, and then your sentiment is another thing. So before I go to the sentiments, Anisha, let me come to you because I know you were a little bit shocked by some of the stats. What was the most striking thing for you, and what would you say would be the biggest takeaway for, your business in regards to titling things and being, consistent with the brand image for your business?
Yeah, so thanks, Favor. I mean, you have said so many good things. One of the things that I did take was the link you put in the chat, the title, and I did put a title of one of my rooms that I use, and it came back. Let me go over to it. It came back at 83, and I got a lot of greens and some good feedback. And so I want to really dig into that a little bit more to figure out, um, what that means. The only thing that was yellow was character count. It says your character count should be around 55, and my character count was 26. But he gave me some really good feedback and some things that I hadn't thought of, and so I'm definitely going to be using this to create titles. So that was one of the things that you gave that I was like, oh, this is good. So yeah, all you up there. Thanks, Favor.
You're welcome. I'm happy that you did that. Glad you tested it out. It makes sense. And when you add even the emojis to it, it adds context to it. Like this room right here, SEO, you can even type it out on your box if anyone's checking this out. SEO, literally rewrite what I have in the title and rewrite it on your page and see the number you get. My score is 79. My readability is 87. My SEO is 64. And my sentiment is 90. Now, why I left this last part for the ending of this room is because I want to dwell on it a little bit more than I did on the first two. Now, sentiments are important because it's the sentiment that you have as a title that's going to guarantee whether that thing is going to be clicked on or not. That link is going to be clicked on or not, right? Because what does sentiment mean, right? We can go to the dictionary and check it out. And according to the dictionary, it's a view, right? It's a view, it's an angle, right? It's a perspective of or attitude, right? Attitude means how am I feeling today, right? I'm feeling great right now, right? I could go have a swim in this weather, right? It's good. I can feel good, but I have work to do, so I'll decide, okay, when to do that, how to do that. It all depends on how you schedule it. So how you feel, if you feel like having ice cream today, or if you feel like having a donut, or you just feel like having a salad, it's up to you, right? That's how you're feeling. That's the attitude you're having towards or toward a situation or event, because that's your opinion. I agree with you because, or I disagree with you because, right? Now, when you think about a title, the reason why I left this last is because of the human example, especially because we're going into AI so much, right? That we're totally forgetting the human connection. Sentiment score is if you guys, and that's why they left sentiment score last. It made so much sense because why is readability first? Because it has to make sense. Why is SEO second? Because it has to make sense technically. And then sentiment is third because it has to make sense technically with emotion. So with emotion comes promotion. And what is that promotion? A click. So if I'm reading your title right now, the reason why you joined this room is because when you read the title, you were like, oh, okay, actually, let's role play. Hidden, when you read the title, what did you think? Anisha, what did you think? Soda, what did you think? So let's go off. Anyone can start. I don't know how if you guys are busy, but let me know. Anyone can kick off.
the three things I saw were, other than it being your room, and I'm like, oh, Favor always gives good content, was create winning titles. And I'm like, oh, a winning title. I want to know more about what that means. And so that's what brought me in.
Thank you. I appreciate
First
that. So,
thing, first thing I thought was uh, basically the SEO. Come down to the SEO. Because even in the title is SEO. That's the thing in your title. It should be SEO, optimized for the search terms or whatever it might be. So it's definitely, definitely the winning titles is what got me because that, like you said, that equal traffic and that equal, sales at the end of the day.
yes, sir. Thank you so much for that. Soda?
I see winning, and that I'm like, ooh, I want to win, and I am horrible at titles. I do not like doing titles, and so I'm just like, I want to win. I like to create, and I need help with titles, and I, you know, definitely need it to work better with SEO. So it's like immediately, it's like, I'm going to drop everything I'm doing and listen to this.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that feedback. You all said the same thing, which is exciting because everything about this title is great. Like if I just said SEO, how to create a title, you'd be like, uh-huh. You'd be like that want. It'll be like, okay, yeah, we know we're gonna get it, but it's not gonna be as saucy, all right. It's not gonna have some gravy on it. So the sentiment for me was the winning because that's a positive, emotional, strong connection, right? And positive emotions tend to get more click-throughs. If it says buy now, classic, get this, it happens, right? Because you want to purchase something. You want to be like, oh, I want to go get this. 3 ways to lose belly fat and feel like a champion, right? The word champion is what you're thinking about, not the belly fat, because that's not what you want in your mind, right? So when you're looking at sentiments, right? You have to think about your titles and win your titles with emotional connections. That's really the goal for this room. Like, yeah, SEO, great. We can do that all day, but the emotional piece is the most vital piece. And how you can start emotionally connecting with someone is by starting off with a question. I've tested this on Pinterest, I've tested this on LinkedIn, and I've tested this on Google. It works, right? Start off with a question. Is this you? If you send that to a friend, that you definitely get a response quickly because you would be like, what is going on here? Because instead of saying this is you, you'll be like, okay, what are you talking about? So the emotion changes, the vibe changes, the mood changes, the room changes, right? The energy shifts. So when you have a title, make that title big. That's why even movies, they don't play with titles. Movies, big movies, they don't play with blockbuster movies, they don't play with titles. I've done screenplay writing for a movie. Like I've done it before and I know how titles take time. You can't just have a title like a book title, a screenplay title, an album title. Because I'm also in the music industry too. I'm in the entertainment business industry. So I also see that as well, right? My music, if you guys check out my discography, I have 2 albums and I'm working on the third one because people are like, "Wait, where is your music?" I'm like, yeah, it's coming. Because now on this other app, because of music, I'm going to be doing a lot of music. I'm going to be making beats on the spot. I'm going to be kind of showing my other side because I'm too SEO out here. I need to bring it down and do some music, play some tunes, and let you guys feel some vibes and play music on the spot, make beats as I go. So these are things that I want to do because it has sentimental value, right? Why I'm so big on this is because, case in point, there was a client that I connected with like 3 weeks ago. We had a meeting and she was not really feeling too like great. Like she was actually texting me, she's like, Favor, I don't know, I'm going to go through this meeting. I was like, don't worry, I'll bring in the energy. I'm always bringing in that good salt, that good vibes. Whether you're down or up, I'll still be up. And she came in and then she told me, she's like, Favor, I'm gonna tell you this real quick before we get started. I was like, what is she about to say? She says, And this was not my intention, because if you go to my profile, you don't see this. And I actually deleted it off one, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have deleted it, but I did, because I was making music, right? Because I've started getting my music back into publishing and licensing for artists. So if you want music as a jingle, you can pay for it as a non-exclusive license or a buyout license. So I'm into that too, and I'm bringing back that side of me because I've been so busy on helping businesses. So I'm like, how can I help businesses with this as an add-on? And this is sentimental value, because music is sonical value, right? It's sonical attachment. So I decided, hey, let me go ahead and create this music piece and put it on TikTok and put it on Instagram. Come to find out, I think this is just God just saying, just do this and just do it well. I got to the room, and when we got into the meeting, she now says, Favor, the music that you put, I was having problems sleeping. And I literally replayed your music over and over again, and I went to sleep. Because I played an instrumental. I made a beat. It was an instrumental with some saxophone and some nice vibes. And I was like, okay. I played it for another friend of mine 2 weeks ago. And she was like, Favor, this sounds like some hypnosis. And I was like, it's not, because it's really like a different vibe. If you guys want to hear this sound, put a one in the chat. I can literally open up my speaker right now and turn my music mode on so you guys can hear the sound. If you guys want to hear it, it won't be long. I'm not going to bore you with that. I didn't plan to, but if you guys want to hear it, I'm going to put it in. Okay. All right. So Anisha and Soda, Candice wants to hear it. All right. You guys want to hear my music. I don't do this all the time, so you guys are going to be very excited. Let me turn this on to music mode. Audio quality. Has my sound changed? Guys, please give me a thumbs up if my sound has changed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
changed.
changed.
Awesome. All right, so here we go. All right, listen to this, guys. This is about 56. Yeah, 56. 56 seconds. So let's go. So that's what I made. I don't know if I should switch my microphone back or I should keep it like this. What you guys think? Switch it back, keep it like this. How's the audio experience? Good? Okay, I'm gonna keep it like this. Yeah. Soda, you said that you feel so relaxed. I'm listening. Did you doze off? Soda? Oh, wow. She's probably not able to speak.
That is so good, Favor. I just want to say I'm listening to it and I'm like, I can kind of wind down to this. This is music that I can listen to if I'm just kind of, doing some work in the background and just that is that's dope.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hidden. Appreciate it. Candy says I like this and I don't listen to a lot of music. Wow. Coming from you, Candice, I am humbled. Thank you. Thank you. Because if you don't listen to music a lot, yeah, because I don't know. Not everyone listens to music, not everyone listens to podcasts. So yeah, this is so good to hear. Thank you all so much. And yeah, I call this piece Birds and Butterflies. And then I made an AI image art for it. So yeah, this is how to create winning titles with SEO. So this is really how it goes. And I hope that when you think about titles again, you can use your titles to win clicks, win saves, because when you tell someone save this for later, they will save it for later. Like I'll tell you guys, save this room, like click the top three links at the top three dots, top right, and save the room, save the replay, right? So that you can be coming back here and listening to it. I'm going to listen to this replay because I want to know how my audio actually sounds. I really want to know the difference. So when I come into a room, I can decide, okay, this is the audio, because it's very important for me to give you guys good quality audio. So yeah, we're gonna go to the room. It's 5:30 p.m. Central. So we'll wrap up the room. We'll now go from Soda to Anisha to Hidden. Soda, what would you say is something you learned? I know you came in halfway through, but what is one thing that you picked that you loved? And then let people know a little bit more about what's happening with you this week. Damn, we put Soda out. I hope she comes back. Anisha, passing it to you.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much for this room. Favor was really good. I'm glad I was able to pop in at the very beginning. Sometimes I come into your spaces midway, but glad I was able to come in from the onset, get these tips. I'm definitely going to be using the link that you put for um, the title of AI generator, I guess I'm going to call it, just to create better titles to see how it has an impact on the reach. And then also, I saved that the other one with the email. I'm going to listen to that podcast and be able to implement these things. It's one thing to come into these spaces and hear these things and give up the emojis and kudos, but to actually implement it and see the results. So I'm excited about it. Thank you so much, as always, for giving value and for this room today.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Anisha. Yeah, it's implementation. I want us to actually get to work. And I love that we are working it out, because when we come back to rooms like this, we discuss, concepts and user scenarios, case scenarios. That's what I'm doing. And I realized it works well even on LinkedIn. I started saying, this is how I did it. And it's like, oh, you guys like content like this? Okay, I'll do more. Because I kind of shy away from not showing. People are like, do you have case studies? I'm like, yeah, but where do I start? So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to just pump them out so that I just put them on LinkedIn. So if ever someone asks me, I can link them in between each other and then link them out to whoever needs them. So thank you for that, Anisha. I really appreciate that. Soda, I saw you reacting. Are you back?
Yeah, I was in a meditative state. So yes, I've tried all these like title generators and I always hate them. I hate them. And so finding one that like will analyze a title that you already were thinking of and give feedback, I like that so much more. So I'm really excited to test it out. And I had no idea about the emoji thing because I love using my little heart with the sparkles, but I've never like used that in titles before. So maybe I will try that sometime.
Yeah, try it out with your podcast and see what happens. I do that with my podcast now, and it literally like takes off. I'm like, oh, okay, this is working. And I'm now using it actually in the SERPs. I noticed, and it's such a weird thing. I noticed the most little, like the tiniest things. Google Google users, or Google, whoever publishes articles on or publishes pages on google.com or just any search engine period, I notice people don't use emojis. And that for me is an untapped audience that I'm actually finding a lot of clicks, because I'm actually using it and I'm seeing clicks. People from, to someone today from North Macedonia, and I don't even know how they found me, but it's because of a podcast, through a web link, something. Come on the website, we're on LinkedIn. It happens. So the web is wide. It's a world wide web. So if we can create content like this, go on a platform, capitalize my title, and play with it, get a good title. This title you see right here is a winning title. And you see this room, I'm going to literally turn this into an article, because I want more people to learn more about this. That's really what I'm doing. I'm taking one topic and I'm using 1 week to literally repurpose it all the way through, so I don't have to spend another 52 weeks doing the same thing. So people are like content, content, content. Your content lies within the context of where you position your business, right? If you want to create winning titles, start by thinking about what would people read when they feel like that, and then analyze it, right? Because when you analyze it, it helps, right? If you guys scroll down just before we go, if you guys scroll down to the SEO section, right? I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but I just feel like you guys need to know this. If you go to the SEO section, right? Welcome, Tracy, Austin, Derek, Tara. Thank you all for being here. I see Tricia, Chris, Anja, Mike, Go, Ian, Jordan, and Hamdi. You are all welcome. Thank you for being here. Please click the link above before you guys leave the room so you can subscribe to the podcast show and listen to all the great episodes we have. You'll always get an email when an episode is released, because that's what we want to make sure that you're ahead of time and you're not behind time, because we have so many episodes. We're going to be 5 years in on August 12th. So I'm literally racing to 500. We're at 375 episodes. I have about 100 plus episodes that have not been published. So I might do a surge for these next few months and see what happens, just to test it out, because I normally do once a week, but now I'm kind of doing once a day like I used to in the beginning. That's probably why I got to 300, because I used to do once a day podcast episodes. Then it became 3 in a week, and then it became twice in a week, and then it became once a week, and then it became once a month. So it started like growing out, and then I said, let me pick up a pattern. And now I'm like, okay, let me speed race this now to, once a day, all the way through August, because I really want to hit that 500 number. Just to mark 5 years in podcasting, 500 episodes, that would mean a lot. And we're at 3%. According to listeners, 3% global top ranking, and we don't do the scanning. I don't do the reporting. All I do is just the SEO piece and get people, highlight good stories, and just do the good stuff and let people listen as much as they can. Send emails frequently, because that also affects your SEO score, right? I'm going to be talking about how to improve your SEO score on the other app. And then I'll probably bring it here like I did today, because I started there. There was nobody in the room. I was just with one person. I was like, you guys need to hear this. And I know it's still new. So I said, let me come here and give you guys some of this information. So I love Clubhouse. I love all these apps. It's just an app, to be honest. It's really, if you guys have sentimental value to it, yeah, think about it. So if you go to the SEO section, right? There's a section that says character count. Now, look at those characters, please, because characters with spaces and characters without spaces matter. So when you look at email, it says 20 characters. So if you have 20 characters in your email, and SEO power is supposed to be between 5 to 7 words for a good headline, right? I mean, that's a stretch. You can do 4, you can do 8, but just keep it within a contextual basis, because the less brain power you give someone reading, the faster they take action. If I'm telling you to read this line for me, and this line is going to take you 5 seconds to read, I'd rather let you read this for 2 seconds and you spend the other 3 seconds clicking through to it, right? And maybe a page or a second to load it. So time is of the essence. Don't give people titles they can't read. If the title is good, let it run, right? But don't let the title be boring because you want to just have a long title. So email, 20 characters, Twitter or X, 71 to 100 characters, Facebook, 40 characters, Google Plus, which is funny that they talk about Google Plus, which means it's been a while, right? Think about Google Plus. I remember then that red icon, 60 characters. LinkedIn, 80 to 120 characters. Now, these numbers are numbers you can always test. What I like to do is when I see information like this, I'll say, all right, I'll break it down into two. I'll divide it into two. That's what I always do. Email, 10 characters. So how many words fit into 10 characters? Then I can test that. Then if it doesn't work, I'm gonna add an emoji to it, because when you add an emoji, guess what? You're increasing the pixel size of that title tag contextually and technically. And you're also, right, when you add an emoji to it, you're adding some type of, code. Because when you type on think about it, when you type on your iPhone, right, and you type in cat, or you type in dog, or you type in spoon, or you type in hat, right, it's going to translate that text into an emoji. So if you're doing the same thing and you're creating that experience on your platform, then how are you going to really give people what they're looking for if you don't give it to them in that context? So use this for emails, use this for your blogs, use this for your podcast titles, use it away. Like make sure that you end up on that green, 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 green. Don't be on red, green, yellow. Be on green, 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 because the higher the sentiment, if your sentiment is higher than your SEO and your readability, your SEO is going to do so well. Like, I'm going to test this out, guys. This article, I'm going to write one and I'll have this article there. SEO, how to write, create winning titles. The word winning is also going to be in the URL, because the word winning has sentimental value. So when you see something that has value, keep it. Like if you like this necklace, keep it, right? If you like this ring, keep it. So if it has that value, keep it. If it's an emoji, keep it. So hope you guys can keep it and keep it going, so that you learn as you grow and use this everywhere that you go online. And you guys will do so well. If you just take this one room, listen to it word for word and apply it, you'll be so far. I wouldn't even have to do another room. This would be like the holy grail of the room. This would be like the ice cream topping that will allow you to really get out there, and then you'll be able to do amazing things with yourself. So thank you so much for being here and listening. And Tracy, thanks for joining us today as well. Appreciate you. I'll be definitely doing more rooms this week. I'll see what time to do them, because I'll be flying this week. So I will. I'll see what I can do, but I definitely want to have some more rooms like this and also connect. So yeah, if you guys want to connect to me or work with me, we are accepting. We're open to working with clients at the moment. We're very specific now with how we're working with you, because we want to give you the best experience. And how I do it now with my team, we're 20 in our team. So 8 people, 4 guys, 4 women, and 4 men, including myself, and then 12 AI staff. So what we do is like we kind of break out into different like breakout sections. So if we work with you, if you're doing research, if we're doing design, if we're doing SEO, we kind of break out into our own internal parts and then come to you and give you some really cool reports. It's a really cool way of working now that is exciting for the future. And then we don't even use Zoom. We use Zoom, but we have moved into a platform called Spatial Chat. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before. I found, if you guys listen to the podcast show, you'll hear the founder. He's from Cyprus, and it came out during the same time during the pandemic when Zoom was booming in the US with Teams and with Google Meet in the in the EU, if I could put it like that, the European Union, right, in the European side of life of town, if I could put it like that. They were using spatial chat. So if you go to Product Hunt, they're actually ranking really well, and they've been ranking for some time now. So spatial chat, you can have a workplace, you can have a stage, you can have a space there. I have a virtual office. So if you guys want to come to my virtual office, let me know, and I can give you my link so you can come to my virtual office and pop in. Some people just pop in and I'm like, ding dong, you come to the lobby and then I'll take you to the office. So it's really nice. I want to create an experience for people and I'll just give you guys fluff. So that's why I'm really doing this consistently and giving you guys the love that we have. So if you guys want to connect with me, please feel free to do so. If you want to have an SEO icebreaker as well, that is also an option. The reason why I put these links is because I know sometimes it's hard to connect offline when this room shuts down. So please save this replay, save the links. I put the link at the top. You know, you can see me with emojis. There's a reason why, and it has impact value. So I'm literally showing you guys what I'm saying. You know, we use titles on Clubhouse. Why don't we use titles as actual titles on search engines? Because if you use titles on Clubhouse, and those titles can also be transcribed into Bing. If you go to Bing or Google, if you ever have a room on Clubhouse, do clubhouse.com and then put in quotes, you're going to see, if you say like SEO or nutrition or whatever topic you keep typing on Google through Clubhouse, that title tag is going to show up on Bing or Google. So if you really think about your titles do work with emojis. So if you want to get on a call and solidify this, please get on a call. We'll talk to you about this and we get you started. So thank you, Anisha, Soda, Tara, Derek, Austin, Tracy, Trisha, Anja, Mike, Go, and Ian. You guys are all appreciated. I hope you guys have an amazing new week, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the Clubhouse streets very soon. Chat later. Have a blessed day. Talk to you later. Bye bye.